without any further ado, I've got lovely Angela Van Hoeven, who is my guest this evening. Angela, can you just share a little bit about your background before we go with the questions?
Sure. Good morning and good evening.
Good morning. Good evening.
Yes. Background. We start recent because it's quite long, my journey. But my Wise Woman Network journey, which is what we're here to discuss this nice day, is began around a year and a half ago, well, it's been kind of building up, but I founded it a year and a half ago, and we talked about my daughters and I creating something that would be including everything that it is that I wanted to share with them. And that was their idea. And first it was, oh, let's write a book together. And then we said, well, no, I have to, find a way where we can share it, not just, with ourselves, but with all women. And so it started with a list of all the things that I wanted for my daughters to have. And then I thought about all the things that I wanted to, and I kept long lists, have myself throughout my career, especially, but also throughout my life. So I wanted to make sure that those things were included. And then, what else do I believe is a kind of right for all women to have available to themselves in order to achieve each of their own dreams. And so it was quite a massive undertaking, but these are the beginnings of the network and why I founded it around a couple of years ago.
And that's wonderful. That's absolutely amazing. What I would like to ask you is, obviously, women, it's very important for women to come together. And what did you feel, when you spoke to your friends and family or what have you, and who, when you first got started, what was how did they receive it? What were people saying? Were people saying, I really think that this is a great idea? And, what was the feedback from others?
Feedback. I know there's a need. It's been proven to me, during life, as you kind of go through and explore, and we all bump our heads here or there, and then you say, well, what would be helpful to not have to continue to bump our heads? And it's something like, I told my daughters, look, I've been around the block, I've done this and done that, so I know a lot of stuff, but I can't teach you everything. I don't know everything. Nobody does. And so can we all bring our wisdom together, the best of the best that we want to share with each other, like our sisters, our friends, our daughters, our wives, for those of the men that are here. And it's about this, our most precious resources. How do we combine them in order to share them together, to just lift ourselves up and build ourselves up and supply us with everything that it is that we need.
Awesome. And you just mentioned men there, and I want, just want people to know that, you are very pro men, and this is going to help men as well, because, when the wives are happy, then, the men will be happy. And what I want to ask you next is the business, women being in the marketplace, women being consumers of goods by women. How important is that? How important is the, women's money in the marketplace?
I think, women need to have a step up, and that's what I've been, working really hard to try to just create the infrastructure for. To be able to bring our goods, our products, our beautiful services, our special gifts into the world. And it's really complicated. It's difficult in this new kind of normal with social media, and we need to know SMO and SEO, and we need PR, and we have to pay for all this stuff. And so it's, your question is about, women as consumers, but also I think just us women as service and creators of products, providers, we need to have our gifts, our talents out in the world, not only to be consumed by women, but also by men. And so it's about this, but also then within, the network itself, of course, it is a membership base for women or female identifying, and it is it is something that we need to support each other in there. We have mentors and coaches and experts of all sorts, and we have a couple now, and we're growing, and that's the idea, is that we bring in what it is that we each need, and make available our own products and services to those who want them and need them. And we need to support each other. Women need to buy from other women and realize the importance of it, because it does make a massive difference.
And we're in a new time where this seems to be a lot more, this seems to be the right time. Why do you think now is the right time to have a business like your own, where you are bringing women together?
Right time is it's just changing. Every day is changing, and we're becoming more and more virtual, and some people don't realize it yet, but I believe that we can't really stop it. So all these changes that are happening every day, they do make for new opportunities. I do believe that in the bottom of my heart, and hope that we can find ways to embrace this, and also to make our gifts, our products, our services, our different tools and resources for empowerment available to people who are, in any country, and from any walk of life, or coming from any background, any part of the journey, I like to say. So that is also one of the benefits of becoming more virtual, and that is really the point of the network, is to make things that maybe were otherwise really hard to get, in order to empower yourself, or to find out, or have access to, available to everyone who needs them.
That's fantastic. I definitely agree with you. Being virtual, being online, you can go global, and that's an amazing thing. Give us an idea, Angela. What types of businesses? What are women bringing to the marketplace?
Well, we're just, as you know, we're just starting out. So we have, lovely ladies in different countries who are hand making their own things, and we want to help them, empower them to get them out in front of people who would like to have them. Right now, the focus is really on, in addition to that, products that are beautiful and hopefully created in ways that are not harming our earth or our bodies. Also has been the focus. Experts of all sorts. We just invite you to join us. We focus on mentors and coaches, and these are the types of people that we need right now, just to work with. It's about finding your own purpose, your own journey, your own calling, and this should be very different for each of us. So we each have our own needs, and we're discovering what they are, I hope, for us. And so they're going to be different for each of us. And the idea is, as we seek, and there's processes within the platform to help this to happen, as we seek what it is that we need, each of us, then we find it, and it's brought to you, and there's help, so that we can journey together in order to help you individually to reach your dream.
That's fantastic. It's called Wise Women, Wise Woman. Why did you choose that name? I love that name. What is it that what was it that sort of inspired you to call it Wise Woman Network?
It's about, again, a journey, and wisdom is something that I attain to, and I hope that we all grow into every day. I wish to become more wise, and I wish for my daughters to become more wise. And so how do you, enable that to happen? Well, we need access to information, and we need to, as we make wise decisions based on this information, and hopefully, access and tools and resources, we continue to become more wise as we make wise decisions. So it's something like that. It is the process. It is the journey. I can't say everyone who will join will be the most wise woman in the world. We all hope to and aspire to become more wise together. This is the point. We grow in wisdom together.
So, because what I pick up from what you're doing, you're helping people mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically to come together, to be their best selves, and then go back out into the world and their families to be better people. And how important is it with the way the world is? You know, it's changing in the way that people are waking up, but it's also changing in terms of, you know, sometimes it feels like a pushback. So how important is it for women to be strong on all levels, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically?
I believe that that's, you know, that wisdom sits somewhere in the middle of that, so that we can't be wise unless we address all these aspects of our individual person. My journey is, you know, surfaced on many of these different components, including health, including transformation inside, and also having been out in the career world and looking to balance as many things as possible. And I believe that women have to balance a lot more than men, generally speaking. I've realized the need also, you know, that we can't ignore this component of just the logistical things that we need to address and overcome. So I believe that wisdom sits in the middle, and that we can't ignore, we can for certain periods of our journey, the other components, but at some point to become fully wise, fully complete, a whole person, then we should address all the different components of our individual selves.
Where do you see the Wise Woman Network going? Where do you see it? Because as you say, it's in its infancy. And you've got some great things that you want to share with women today about how they can get involved. But where do you see it going over the next few years?
So it's something about, we talk about the virtual journey. I hope that it becomes something that the network itself, a place where we can each go and become comfortable with, and say, well, this is a spot that I can feel safe, and I can challenge the status quo, and I can seek solutions that in fact will be helpful. That we need to each find a place where we have the comfort and security that our best interest is at the heart of it. And this is, I think, in this world, a really hard thing to hope for, but really what I want for my own daughters. So how to become empowered individually is a complicated matter, as you very well know. And I hope that we become a little bit more progressive with the technology, and there's many ideas on how to do that, and maps and, you know, plans for this. And that is the idea, that we begin with this foundation, the structure, the platform, and we grow from here. We create what we don't have when it is needed.
Awesome. So, you know, Angela, I love what you're doing, and I love the wisdom that is coming through as well. And I really feel as though women can really benefit from it. I know you have an opportunity for women to join. Tell us why you're doing this giveaway today and how people can get involved. How can people join and start contributing to Wise Women Network?
It's time now, as we start to emerge from the pandemic. It's time to start to build the foundations of what it is that we want and need, and join together to agree on these things so that we can enact positive change. I believe that is really important. So I'm inviting founding members, and the best way I thought would be just to make it free of barriers. So I said, well, let's just make it for, $1 today, and get as many people involved as we can to start to understand it and embrace it, and see what it is that they believe we should be seeking, and what it is that they would like also to share. That is how we should begin. And so I thought, well, let's just invite as many people as would like to join today into the network, and then we can begin our journey together.
And that's, you know, that's a really lovely thing to do because they get a chance to try everything that's there. Is that right? And is that for a whole month? How long do they have access to?
The lifetime membership. So we're just getting started, and if you become a founding member, then it's a lifetime membership. And as we grow out, we can make determinations about what the membership fees will look like. But for the founding members, we want to make it again barrier free and accessible for all those who would like to join today.
Wow, that's amazing. So, you know, what I understand, they will also, if people are starting business and they have issues with the technical side of things like websites and, you know, apps and all these things, you have got a process in place to help them. Talk to us about that.
So there's we've created a women-owned shop. So women business owners can create a kind of shop within our Y shop. And the idea is just to make it as easy as possible to begin this pivot into transformation into the virtual world. So products and services, the functionality is completely organized for anyone who wishes to create their shop within our shop. So hopefully you don't run into many glitches when you're creating your own website. There's all kinds of things that can go wrong, and you have to figure out how then, now that I've set it up, to market it. These things are time consuming and expensive, very complicated too. The SMO, the SEO, we have to get it word out and make, you know, noise on social media, these kind of things, in order to bring people to what it is that we, you know, would like to offer, our beautiful products and services. And so all this has been done start to finish, made possible within the Wise Women Network shop, it's called. And we have, I have a couple of ladies who are helping me to help onboard business owners who would like to sell there, to make it as seamless as possible, because not all of us can be whizzes technically, and we shouldn't have to be. If we are gifted at making beautiful products, we should be focusing on that and not on all the difficulties of, you know, computer bugs and glitches. So
yeah, and that's so true. You know, like you've got the idea, and you know the person, the owner, is really good at what they do, but then the technical side. So you take all that away, and people are going to get access to that for $1 as a founding member. So I just need to repeat that so people know what they're getting. And how long is this offer for? How long can they have access to this?
I thought maybe, you know, let's make it available for the next 48 hours or, you know, 72, something like that, just for the coming days, so that people who are seeing us today and start to hear about us and get excited, then they would be able to join right away. So,
okay. So if any woman is watching this, either now or on the replay, what would you like to say to them? What would you like to say to them about, you know, the ethos of Wise Woman Network and what they can really get as an individual? Say they've gone through lots of different things with their business. Talk to them about why they should be part of your business. What will be the difference for them to come over to you? Yeah.
It's something like, when I was thinking about how to organize things and talking with friends and family and my daughters and their friends, there's so much out there that, you know, we just need to get the word out there. There's so much out there that doesn't exist. And if you talk about, well, what do I really need to begin to start a business? Well, microcredit loans, for example, sometimes it just takes a little tiny bit to get started. Right. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of encouragement. Sometimes it takes someone just saying, you know, go ahead. So coaches, mentors who are experts in giving some advice. I have mentors of all sorts, tax advisors and legal advisors and just friends who remind me, look, this is possible, this is doable, and we need sometimes something different every day. And these are the kinds of things that, this is just how life works. So we just say, okay, look, these are the main things that are needed. I believe that loans are needed. I believe that mentorship and coaching is needed. We need access to legal advice when necessary. So all of these things in one place, and when we're not having them in one place, they're really hard to find. I had a hard time to find also just advice on health and alternative approaches to healing for complicated situations. Where do we find answers, and who are the best advisors in each of these different categories? Who can I trust to talk about my own purpose and what's in my heart? These are the kinds of things that we need. We need a safe place to do this, and we need a place where we know that it's not going to be profit incentivized advice. It's going to be stuff that is really the best that is possible to get, and the stuff that is really the best for me. And so the filter really is what it is that I would like for my own daughters, and then I hope and expect that everybody will also do the same thing. What it is that they would like for their own sisters or wives or daughters to be shared in order to give them what it is that they need.
And also, if you can let women know, and I know that you've said it's for every woman, can you explain how that works? You know, what age groups, and you know, just what do they need to know that they will fit into this network? All ages,
for building bridges, finding commonalities. What do we each have as, females that's different from men? These are also important questions to ask. And it boils down to, each of us are daughters, and we're created in ways that that allow for creation as well. And so we look at life a little differently, and we feel a little bit differently. And this is a beautiful thing. And so it's these are how we're setting up who it is that we're reaching out to. Yeah, it is for females to join, and we do have needs that are different, physical and spiritual and emotional, from men. And so this is the welcome, and there's not really a cap in age, if we can talk, online, because all of this. Yeah. You should be able to read probably, or use a computer if we talk about the youngest ages, but we can also organize things for our younger daughters as well.
And in this conversation, you talk a lot about your daughters, and how much, when you were putting this together, how much was, how much of were you thinking about your daughters, not so much now, but in years to come? How relevant was, that energy of seeing them older and maybe needing a network like this?
Everybody's, when I was just reflecting on when I was in my young 20s and I was just starting out, and I was thinking, everything is possible, and how much fun it's going to be, and putting on these, high heels and rushing out in my suit. And it was, it was fun, and it was exciting, but there is so much more wind blowing against females. There just is. So I see my young daughters growing up into young ladies and having their own dreams and ideas about what they want to do, what they want to contribute, and I see what they can. And this is the idea, is we all have these beautiful gifts, and how can we remove some of the obstacles to make it more possible for us women to share our gifts and skills in the world. So they were a massive part. My daughters were a massive part. It began with them, and it began with my ideas about what we can do to make it easier for them. But it's really a right for all of us women to have access to achieve our own dreams. women and men, of course.
So I'm hearing the word legacy is coming through there. So, you know, your business, what you started is a legacy, and women coming with their businesses and sharing, that's a legacy that can go on and on and on. What else would you like to share with the watching audience, I should say? What else would you like to share that you feel is relevant for them to know about your business? And, you know, how important is it for them to get involved? And how can they contact you as well?
Well, it's easy to contact me. Go to mywwn.com, mywisewomannetwork.com. And within there, you can just join today and in the coming hours, days, as a founding member and begin your journey with me. I'm accessible always in there, not 24 hours a day, because I'm also a mother. Okay. But it's something like that. It's about creating our journeys together. And so once you then join, then we are able to speak within the network. There's forums, there's groups that we can create. We can individually message, you can ask questions, we can create communities.
So how can people get in contact with you? How can people, and what I want to quickly ask you, obviously you set up this business. Can you walk women through very quickly a few steps on what you would say is the best way to get started? You've got this idea. What do you do next?
You go to the website and then you click on join now and you begin to explore. And there's many different ways that you can seek wisdom and many different ways that you can share wisdom. And the idea is just to begin to explore what's there, begin to explore what it is that you think should be there and share these ideas. And then together, then we can make sure that it's growing in the direction that it needs to be. So the idea is to join. We seek and we share what it is that we need and have to offer. And then we apply these seeks and shares to make a difference in our own lives and in the lives of the other members and people that we meet within the network.
That's awesome. So thank you, Angela. Really enjoyed speaking to you, and I think you've shared so much about your wonderful business. And yes, I think everyone should, at least go over to the website. Can you just share the website again before we go?
mywwn.com.
Awesome. Very easy to remember. So yeah, thank you so much, Angela, and you continued success in your business.
Thank you so much. It's an honor and privilege to be here. I'm grateful for your time.